You may believe that avoiding a woman means you don't care about her, but consider what she goes through when you don't. You're giving her space. But the Stoics knew there was a lot more going on in her mind. They learned the power of self-control and caution, knowing that sometimes turning away from something makes it stronger. Allure is better than constantly chasing. Stay with me until the end as we look into what it means to ignore someone. A woman who breaks down every situation and thinks about how this method might change the dynamics of. If you haven't already, please enjoy, like, join, and share your content. You can find their personal narratives in the comments section of Chapter 1. The girl you showed a little. When you show a woman a hint of attention and then pull back at the right time, it can set off a deep emotional response. As a psychological reaction, this small act of focused attention is like setting a seed. You've just the right amount of spark to pique her interest without requiring her to fully comprehend your words. By giving her only a hint of your interest, you keep your feelings a secret, which leaves her wondering what you want. I wonder if you're more interested in being nice or something else. This subtle sign of interest gets her to lean in and pay more attention to you, which you want her to do. This method involves making people think about who you are and what you want, which makes your appearance more interesting. It's crucial to strike a balance between acknowledging her presence and withdrawing as soon as she begins speaking. By not giving away too much, you're showing that you're interested and setting the stage where she should make her own decisions and nurture her innate curiosity. This can be especially helpful. It works because it makes you look like someone who isn't looking for approval or is in a hurry to make a first impression. Instead, you become an intriguing figure in her mind, someone who captivates her, but not completely. This puzzle is simple for her to understand, leading her to wonder what kind of person you are and why you're not more open and what that could mean. This dynamic shows how stoic the Stoic concept of restraint says that it is not about hiding your thoughts, but rather about staying in charge of one's activities, fighting the urge to act, and escaping the trap of needing instant gratification. The Stoics stress that we shouldn't let outside forces, such as the desire for it, involves demonstrating a controlled level of behavior to gain someone's approval. By showing interest and then purposefully stepping back, you demonstrate that you adhere to this principle of restraint. Because you control your emotions and actions, you are resistant to influence. You do it either to gain approval or to demonstrate your abilities. Instead, you're pleased to let things unfold spontaneously, incorporating your unique rhythm and equilibrium, which can be highly unpredictable. This controlled interest makes her feel attracted, and the hint of your attention leaves her with lasting thoughts. If she inquires about your plans, she will likely recall the times you've spent together and relive those moments. She is analyzing her thoughts and determining whether your interest is genuine or if there are other factors at play. Your brief interaction and the time that followed spark this interest. It often prompts her to reach out, pose questions, or demonstrate interest in her quest for understanding. From where you stand, this gentle method gets her attention without making her do anything. By using this type of language, you're asking her to think about the possible connection more. With balance and control, you show an emotional growth that makes you stand out in a world where many people might shower. You give her your full attention all the time, or try to impress her with big moves, but your quiet style shows that you are someone who, this quiet trust, cares about the quality and purpose of your relationships. Along with your confidence, your reserve suggests you should choose your interests carefully and not jump in without thinking. She can process her emotions at her own pace with this approach, creating an environment that fuels desire. We prefer shared interest over pressure or haste. This measured method also keeps your attention, which helps you build a presence that is both interesting and solid. You keep your emotions in check and don't seem too eager or involved, which keeps her from feeling stressed, or instead of feeling rushed, she can enjoy the pace you set and know that you're someone who has the wisdom to let things happen naturally without trying to control the outcome. This calm and collected attitude. This lets her know you're safe enough to give her space, while also showing that you're not too attached to a certain result. You're just enjoying the conversation and letting it go. This method has a much bigger effect than any other, overt, or extreme show of interest. It builds a base of mystery and a soft pull that she's interested in you, so tell her to spend more time getting to know you. If you're interested in what's beneath your composed exterior, you might feel a stronger urge to meet. Outside, this soft pull nurtures a relationship that is initially based not just on desire, but also on a developing bond. I'm interested in and impressed by your self-control and balanced approach. which will lead to a balanced beginning. By adding a sense of distance and interest, you create a magnetic pull that goes deeper than the surface. This interest indicates depth, patience, and purpose in your life. In relationships, this mix of quiet confidence and self-control can leave a memorable image that hints at the security and depth you bring to your relationships, along with the way you establish a bond based on mutual respect and genuine friendship, are truly remarkable. Chapter 2. Curiosity, the girl you didn't talk to. There are times when it is much stronger to choose not to touch her at all than to try to reach out by ignoring her. Making any kind of connection during ref training can cause a psychological effect that is often referred to. This effect occurs when there is an insufficient amount of anticipated attention, similar to the interest gap, that makes her wonder why you haven't reached out and why you're not like everyone else who wants her time. This approach is particularly effective if she's accustomed to receiving attention from others. When she sees that you aren't acknowledging her in the same way, it creates a deep but subtle sense of curiosity. You may remind her of yourself by not responding, a lot more than she would if you reached out to her directly. This lack of contact can be an unexpectedly strong attraction arises as the mystery of your disinterest turns into a puzzle in her mind, setting her thoughts in motion. Asking questions and making up stories about what might happen builds a quiet kind of attraction as it leaves. She can guess what you're thinking and why you're not reaching out to her by leaving the door open. Give her time to think about your reasons, and she might even start to wonder if you're holding back on purpose. If you're busy, this method is great because it doesn't require any. You become a kind of mystery when you put in extra work on top of your discipline to stay calm. Riddle that hasn't been answered, which can be much more interesting to her than any direct attempt to engage. This idea of conscious detachment fits well with Stoic thought, which stresses the self-control and the freedom that comes with mental independence are essential in Stoicism. Detachment is people view this as a strategy to avoid becoming overly involved in things they can't change and to avoid making subtle moves. This quiet act of detachment lets her know that you're not depending on her answer or approval. It conveys that you're not seeking her attention or approval, a powerful message. Show her that your confidence and sense of worth don't depend on how she reacts to you, showing a level of independence that naturally makes people curious and respectful. Creating an air of mystery creates a base for attraction that comes from real interest, rather than a sense of neediness or desperate. The fact that you haven't talked to her in a while makes her more likely to wonder about you. She fills in the blanks on her own, often creating a better or more intriguing picture of you in her mind. This hands-off approach can have a greater impact than any direct communication. It's an attempt to capture her interest as it's unexpected and distinct from what she typically hears. Avoiding her isn't the only way to become accustomed to this type of treatment. There is a subtle principle of self-control and reserve, which involves not looking to her for approval. Response. Your restraint makes you unique and intriguing without doing anything extra. As she starts to see you as a confident individual, deliberately separate yourself from the apparent curiosity gap. If you're not paying attention to her, she might think about you and try to figure out what you want. I'm wondering what makes you unique. This kind of attraction is subtle, yet frequently more potent than others. You could avoid taking any overt action in this way by not starting. As she talks to you, you'll become more present in her mind without being there. She believes that the greater her interest in the secret of your sin, the greater the effect. You're portraying yourself as someone who is confident in their independence, which can be far more appealing. By following the ideals of detachment and self-control in every action you take, make yourself stand out by building a sense of mystery that grows over time and leaves her wondering and asking, I continue to think about you long after our initial encounter. Chapter 3. Ignoring her after you trade numbers. Trading numbers often feels like the first step in a new journey. The link sets the stage for a quick talk, but the person's taking a step back and not getting in touch right away after this conversation can pique her interest and wonder in a surprising way. By maintaining a strong distance, you create space for her to play. I'm curious about why you're going over the facts of your first conversation, looking at the exchange, and making guesses about this short break lets her imagination fill in the blanks, building a sense of expectation and slightly getting her attention back on you without doing anything is what this method is all about. Create an even dynamic from the start by trading the numbers you've shown. There should be enough excitement to initially pique people's interest, but if you wait to reach out, you risk you appear overly excited, as if you're dedicating all your time and attention to her. By responding instead, you demonstrate your patience and confidence in yourself. You have the ability to establish your own pace and possess sufficient confidence to not rush the delay. Your mysterious demeanor leaves her wondering why you're not available immediately. The Stoics deeply captivate her as she contemplates your potential actions. According to them, patience and time were crucial. Better acting comes from knowing when to wait and when to move. As you move forward, by taking this waiting to act method, you're showing that you are not a hermit. Urges or expectations from others influence your decision to wait. Sending a message in a quiet way shows that you're in charge and disciplined, which can be appealing. She understands the value of your time and your unavailability, which can be frustrating. See you as someone whose appearance is a gift rather than a promise. This mix of showing, taking an interest, and then stepping back creates a balance that keeps her interested without being too much for her. She's not rushed or under pressure. Instead, she's caught up in a game of mystery. This shows that you care. They are thoughtful about what they do. They value quality interactions over quick ones. This implies that you're accustomed to moving at your own pace, which gives me satisfaction. It piques her curiosity to learn more about you and your goals. This makes her naturally more excited as she waits to see when you'll reach out and why you'll do so. If you haven't already experienced it, this period of quiet space can have an unexpectedly powerful impact. Based on how she sees you, it shows that you're not constantly seeking attention or approval. Engaging in other activities that bring you joy will ignite the spark of interest. Her curiosity about your activities makes her want to connect with you more, especially when you take too long to respond. This psychological gap lets her know who you are and what you're doing with your time, to put more feeling into the new relationship, which would make her more interested and excited without you. Had to push for it this way, carefully balancing fascination at first. By giving each other some time apart, you're building a strong base for mutual respect. This communication style helps her see you as someone who values their own time and isn't overly emotional, rushed. By not saying anything, you let her feel the allure of doubt. That can easily bring her closer as she feels the pull of her interest in this first pattern of talking to someone. Is a modest but effective way to show that you know how to handle relationships. Within the tension and poise that can eventually make a more real and appealing chapter 4 of connection, ignoring her when you see red flags. If you notice any red flags in the beginning of a partnership, ignoring her might be the smartest and most powerful thing you can do. You can say this disconnect isn't about being rude or mean. It's a saying that you won't compromise your standards or ideals is a subtle yet impactful message. You pull back when you see behavior that worries you, whether it's for convenience or short-term interest. It demonstrates your discernment, your ability to identify issues at an early stage, and your refusal to overlook them. Ignoring her when there are red flags is a strong limit that you should not cross for short-term fun or enjoyment. Makes you more determined to keep your self-respect, mental balance, and peace of mind in any when seeking a partner. Women often gravitate toward men who possess a strong sense of self. Setting limits means that you don't just step back at the first sign of unacceptable behavior. Your awareness, self-control, and prioritization skills are evident. Putting your long-term happiness ahead of short-term desires or mental urges says a lot. The way you think about relationships and how mature you are shows that you value mental peace and security, satisfaction over the short-lived thrill of unresolved stress, or the possible confusion of ignoring an early warning. By standing your ground, you show that you want to build relationships that are healthy and compatible. Stick to your core values instead of doing things that could cause you stress or trouble in the future. Remorse stoicism, based on self-control, self-awareness, and the best way to handle these kinds of situations is to keep your inner peace. When you choose not to put effort into a relationship that raises red flags, you are actively practicing maintaining stoic ideals, and prioritizing your health and happiness over unfounded emotions is crucial. By your deeds, it's clear that you value steadiness, clarity, and positive health. Healthy dynamics are more important than the doubt or emotional turmoil that often accompany a relationship. Is not in your best interests. Withdrawing is not a sign of weakness, but a strong declaration of self-defense. Involves telling yourself that you won't be afraid to end situations that could. Taking this position not only helps out stays true to your beliefs and shows a lot of mental maturity. By making it clear that you won't consider a relationship that doesn't meet your standards, You are showing that you are strong, making it appear as though you understand your value and refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve is crucial. Women often find this level of mental strength and steadiness very attractive, as it shows. Your value for honesty and depth surpasses superficial interest or fleeting emotions. Highs. Your actions show that you want to connect with someone based on honesty and respect. Instead of choosing a relationship based on ease or short-term chemistry, focus on shared values. This trust and emotion control is magnetic, drawing people who like age and depth. If you see red flags with her, avoiding her is not only a way to protect yourself, but also a way to. This empowers you by preventing you from engaging in situations that drain your energy and cause instability. Make sense of yourself or overcomplicate your life. You put your own peace of mind, mental clarity, and future ahead of everyone else's. To be happy, you make room for relationships that are in line with your values and help you grow, instead of getting involved in relationships that cause more trouble than they solve. This choice sets the we are establishing the foundation for future relationships based on mutual respect, open communication, and common goals. By taking a strong stance in this way, you create an atmosphere where only truly suitable partnerships can grow. Shape your life in a way that helps people get closer to you and understand you better. Teach those around you. Emphasize to potential partners the significance of self-awareness and sincerity in fostering a relationship. Connections. Ultimately, deciding to terminate relationships that cause concern creates space for stronger bonds. Healthy and satisfying relationships can improve your life, strengthen you, and bring you joy. You are moving further away from the relationship you truly desire. Chapter 5. Ignoring her when she calls. She exhibits warning signs when they begin to appear. Ignoring her becomes an. This method isn't just an important act of self-defense and survival. It's not about trickery or being passive-aggressive. Instead, it's a planned and well-thought-out step. Avoiding her in this situation is best for your own sanity and mental health. Establishing unambiguous boundaries clearly communicates your unwillingness to enter or tolerate a relationship that makes you feel unsafe or hurts you. Respect her behavior if it shows there are signs of abuse, trickery, or mental instability. Taking a step back shows that you value yourself. This level of detachment is sufficient to prevent you from becoming entangled in negativity or drama. Stoic philosophy's ideas about keeping things in balance and harmony really hit home for me. Stoicism puts a lot of value on inner peace, and the outward world is less important. We should choose to avoid situations in a way that promotes inner peace. Avoiding flaggers keeps peace and lets you control who and what enters. Adding self-control to your life shows strength and self-respect, emphasizing that you shouldn't compromise your principles or mental health in order to maintain a potentially harmful relationship. By avoiding her in this situation, you're not completely cutting her off. Instead, you're giving her. If she truly cares about the area, she should be able to see how her actions affect others. Connection. This limit may make her think about what she did. Sometimes people need space. Your departure provides her with an opportunity to understand other people's perspectives and how their actions impact others. She should think about how she acts and decide if she is ready to behave in a better, more polite way. This isn't about punishing people. It's about creating an environment that values only respect and growth. Congratulations on your choice to step back. This demonstrates your increased You solve problems calmly and clearly, which benefits all aspects of your life. In addition, this method creates a dynamic in the connection that pushes both people to keep their individuality, might even motivate her to strive for her own improvement by trying new things. Save time by having hobbies or passions that are beneficial for her health. Become something you both value in the relationship, and you both put growth, self-care, and personal. When you reconnect with her after putting time and money into yourself, you'll feel fulfilled and have a new outlook on life. Seeing each other makes the friendship stronger because they respect and admire each other. Show her how important it is to invest in herself, and you'll help her find a balance between independence and closeness. Gives your relationship depth. This dynamic shows her that a happy relationship doesn't, while constant connection is not necessary. Each person's desire for self-fulfillment strengthens the group. By supporting each other's personal growth, you demonstrate your ability to love and support each other. Journeys get closer without giving up on your own goals, finally accepting this time of transition. Spending time alone and investing in yourself will improve your relationship with yourself and in turn your relationship with her. Your self-assurance and drive make you attractive, and she'll love having you as a partner. As a person, she recognizes the positive outcomes of your dedication to personal growth. This is likely to make her want to be even closer to you. building a strong, deep, and meaningful connection. It's satisfying because you're working hard to improve yourself and building a friendship that will last for both of you. People who are lively and driven come together because they want to, not because they have to, because each of you is dedicated to. We need this foundation to create a link that is both flexible and strong. This approach fosters growth and mutual assistance, thereby enhancing the effectiveness of Manelli's more than just a vacation. It's a promise to become the best version of yourself, which will improve both your personal and professional life. The end of your relationship. Chapter 7. What happens when she comes? Now that we're pursuing her, let's examine what happens when we begin to ignore her. When she begins to reach out, you find yourself in a rare and powerful situation. This role allows you to change dynamics and align them with your values. By being sure of your goals and true self, you can take the lead. With purpose and cool authority, you show her a side of yourself that is both sure of itself and thoughtful, based on This exemplifies the Stoic values of self-respect and a clear sense of what you're doing. Being patient, having self-control, and setting goals are all important tools that will help you deal with this. Reunite Ion with clarity and make it easier to control your impulses. Instead of making mistakes, these qualities help you act quietly and carefully, building on the calm, collected attitude you've shown so far. When someone tries to get back in touch, it can be tempting to make contact right away or reply with. Even though you're excited, keeping a steady, thoughtful pace in your answers can help set the tone for a healthier and more balanced connection. When you maintain composure in your conversations, you don't respond. This time, it's less about their desire for approval or their excitement. Getting her to say something specific and focusing on adhering to your own standards is crucial. By stating that other people's opinions don't determine your value, you set boundaries and exhibit a quiet confidence. Your self-control is both respectable and attractive, and it gives me a sense of mental security. Your actions demonstrate your self-control and resistance to external influence. This time of reuniting demonstrates to her that you prioritize stability and depth over fleeting interest or excitement by not jumping the gun or trying too hard. You show that she has a person in her life she can rely on, who doesn't rely on external circumstances to bring her joy. Being present in a way that makes her feel acknowledged naturally encourages her to invest more emotionally, as she knows you won't react negatively when you act recklessly or change based on your mood. You become emotionally strong figure to her, someone who gives her solid, steady support without trying to change the course of the You show that you are confident and cool, which makes her feel like she can trust you and build a relationship with you. In a relationship that is based on mutual respect rather than need or emotional gain, the Stoic method is still applicable. Being honest about your values and having self-control can help you build a connection based on trust, sincerity. Your calmness and confidence show that you are not trying to trick her into loving you, instead of putting love first. Commitment to self-respect. If she sees that you're not easily moved, she will only accept situations that are good for you or lied about. It sends a strong message that you are a person of belief, who knows his worth and won't settle for anything less than respect and security if she truly cares about him. Putting up this line may force her to confront any undesirable habits or harmful behaviors. Putting up sitting limits in response to red flags sends a strong, unspoken message. You're saying you won't compromise on your values. You will protect your mental health, safety, and confidence. Staying away from anything that could hurt them is crucial. Taking this stand doesn't have to be dramatic. The message is calm and firm, devoid of any potentially hostile words or actions. You are concerned about your health and will not jeopardize it by withdrawing. By letting go of unhealthy behaviors, you make room for relationships that are better for you and bring you joy. Allow someone who exhibits warning signs to eventually become a part of your life. It's not about severing the possibility of a friendship. It's about establishing a clear expectation of respect. If she is ready to work on herself and change these bad habits, she will experience mental growth. If her behavior stays the same though, there may be room for a better relationship. You have shown you are willing to prioritize your mental health. Holding on to these values sends the message that you can leave negative relationships behind. By setting limits, you create a life that draws better relationships based on trust and respect for each other. Knowing this way of doing things will help you and the people around you grow and change in a beneficial way. When you put your own standards and ideals first, you're making a setting that not only opens the door to real satisfying relationships, but it also shows that you're being ready to leave negative relationships makes you more attractive because it shows that you are independent. I have the strength and determination to live a healthy, meaningful life through this. Commitment. You're creating a place where only real positive relationships are welcome. You can experience true love for who you are in Chapter 6. Thrive. Taking time for yourself, which some people call man cave time. In your man cave isn't just a chance to relax. It's a powerful exercise that can significantly improve your self-esteem and interpersonal relationships. Dedicated solitude is not about avoiding her or sending a message that you don't want to be with her. Rather than a casual interest, it's an investment in your personal growth and well-being as a whole. Taking time for yourself shows that you value connection and well-being in a healthy partnership. Whether you're striving to improve your career, dedicating hours to the gym, engaging in activities you love, or acquiring a new language, you can experience freedom. By learning a new skill, you show that personal growth is important to you. This shows her that you care about your own growth and don't need other people to make you happy. Self-reliance and mastery of one's inner self are important ideas in Stoic thought. Turning to your man is important for building a strong life. By going into your cave and spending time on yourself, you're living by these principles in a way that shows emotional independence, inner strength. Focusing on your own strength helps you stay centered, calm, and strong. Traits that make other people want to be with you. And she'll see that you don't need constant company or approval to feel whole, because your life has a purpose, and you can direct it yourself. This is an example of independence. She not only gains respect and admiration, but also builds trust because she is knowledgeable that you are stable and not easily swayed by outside forces or short-term. Your method for managing distractions is beneficial for both you and your relationship. For you, it makes your allowing yourself time to recuperate and align with your values is crucial. She will appreciate the time you share with her because she thinks that your freedom makes your present even more special. Focusing on your journey, whether it's for school, work, fitness, or just plain fun, makes it more useful. By doing hobbies, you're getting back into shape and giving your relationship new life. When you leave this place with a new sense of purpose and clarity, you'll be better able to be fully present. Bring your best self to this measured independence and connection relationship. She is building a foundation of mutual love and respect as she experiences what it's like to be in a relationship with a man who wants to improve himself and your purpose. Self-improvement is a trait you develop that easily draws her to you. She can see how committed you are to focusing on mindful living. Not only makes your relationship stronger, but it also builds being resilient helps. You're putting a relationship first that respects each person's uniqueness and independence. Letting it's important for you to be authentic in the relationship without feeling pressured to conform. This honesty makes a trust and respect that sets you apart from people who might try to force or control the result of when you're in a relationship with someone, she feels safe enough to let you think about how she feels, which is a feature that makes, as you talk to them more, their attention feels more real and unrestricted. You make it clear that you're not looking for a quick-con relationship by acting in this measured and careful way. Instead of seeking empty approval, you're building something real, based on mutual respect. Staying true to your ideals and putting your goals first will earn you understanding and respect. You keep the relationship from getting in the way of your own goals or sense of self. You build a base that this firm, unwavering approach brings her closer without forcing you to give up your values or compromise. In addition to strengthening your bond, approaches ensure that both of you have the giving each other room to grow as individuals, strengthens the bond, and leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment. This method builds the foundation for a long-lasting and important friendship, creating a link that grows because it supports the freedom of each partner. By staying true to with these ideals, you're building a relationship that doesn't depend on games or drama. Instead, genuine loyalty, honesty, and mental integrity form its foundation. She knows you're someone because, with the courage to leave things that make you feel bad, but an open mind to build a relationship that's in line with your own goals and purpose. This integrity mixed with a strong sense of self provides the connection with depth and toughness, making it stronger. In the end, you're not only deeply moving and long-lasting, creating an environment that fosters mutual respect and projecting a sense of care is crucial. This balance between being open and closed is more important than any quick or shallow success. Being authentic with her is crucial for a successful relationship. You are closer in a way that honors both of your unique journeys through this balanced relationship. By taking a principled stance, you can build a real relationship that lasts and grows through the respect, interest, and purpose they share. Make their relationship strong and joyful, and lasting happiness for both of you. Don't forget to share your own thoughts or share your stories in the comment section below. We would be delighted to hear from you and establish a connection through sharing. Don't forget to like, follow, and turn on alerts to stay up to date. Stay updated on even more useful information about psychological tricks and Stoic advice, and tried and true ways to make partnerships stronger and last longer. Join our group today. You can begin your path to greater learning and mastery right here. We're excited to be a part of it.